Hey everyone, let's talk a little bit about practicing. This is kind of the big bugaboo, right? For adult people who have not spent a lot of time in their lives singing and who want to learn how to sing, it can be really guilt inducing to feel that you haven't done the practicing you should do. It sort of like brings back all the stuff from when you were a kid and you didn't practice your piano lessons and your teacher got mad at you and this whole psychology around that. And I want to talk about how tricky that is because one thing I never want you to feel when you're working with me is guilty, because that is just a drag, right? You just don't need that in your life. That's not why you're taking singing lessons or why you enrolled in one of my programs or why you came to a workshop. It's not because you want to add more stress and feelings of guilt to your life. I know that. So, what I want to talk about is how to think about practice in a really constructive way and how to not be discouraged when you don't find yourself practicing and yet to stay in the game. Okay, does that make sense? So, you're an adult, grown up person with a very busy life, you've got lots of stuff going on, and now on top of it, you've committed to learning how to sing. And it's hard to find time. You get discouraged, you drop out of the program or you cancel your singing lessons or whatever. But if you enjoyed that feeling of beginning to discover your inner singer and beginning to explore your voice and learn skills so that you can sing in more comfortably and competently in groups and all this, you don't want to just let it fade away and disappear. This may be a really long-term wish for you to learn how to sing and be able to participate. So, what I want to think about now is, of course, if you practice more, you will learn faster. Of course, that will happen. That is just how it is. You know, there's muscle memory that gets built as you practice, there's cognition, kind of connections and clicks that are going to happen to you. The more you practice, of course, the faster you will learn, and the more clearly satisfying your singing experience will probably be. But if you don't practice much, what you need to do is you need to realize that because in singing your body is your instrument, that you are practicing anyway. When you listen to music after you've been to a workshop, you're going to listen to that music a little differently. When you spend 3 minutes driving along and singing to the radio in the car, you're going to be doing that just a little bit differently. And everything counts. Every little bit of practice you do counts. So if you happen to have an office party and people are singing the happy birthday song and this time you sing along whereas you didn't last time because you were too timid or you didn't feel like you knew what to do, that is practicing. That is a big deal and it's great. You need to acknowledge every little bit of practicing that you do because it all counts. It all goes in. It's all sort of, what's the word I'm looking for, digested or metabolized by your body and your brain. So, so it's never a bad thing to come to a singing lesson or to click on one of my links with an activity, even if you haven't in a month. It's beneficial and it's fun and it brings you back into the game and it reminds you that you're now a person who sings and you don't want to let go of that. You don't want to lose that. So, so it's kind of win-win, you know. If you're not practicing, it's still great to revisit because all the little experiences you have along the way in the course of your week, even you could be walking along and going bum, 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 but you know, doing little rhythm patterns with your mouth, or you could be in church and listening and taking it in differently and maybe, you know, popping in a little bit more with your voice than you would have in the past. All of these things really do count. And by just taking a lesson every once in a while, even, you're benefiting, or by having an activity come into your inbox and remembering, oh yeah, singing, I liked that, you know, and then next week maybe doing an activity, it all over time has its effect and will help you grow as a singer. Whereas if you just let it all go, it may really disappear for you. But don't give yourself a hard time about not practicing enough. And yet, if it is important to you, and you really do want to grow faster and have more concrete milestones by which to measure your success, then practice more. And we can talk in another video about how to create a practice routine that will really help you and work for you. But this video is more about trying to accept yourself where you are, practicing, not practicing. As long as you have that sort of underlying commitment to stay committed to being a person who sings, you're going to keep growing. Okay? So enjoy it.